Next honoree to the South Dakota 2010 class is Dave Hanten.
Dave Hanten, one of the state's finest amateur golfers. Hanten burst onto the scene as a 15-year-old when he finished second to Phil Donahue in the 61 Match Play Championship. He was a three-time winner of the state Match Play Tourney and a three-time winner of the state Stroke Play Tourney, all from 1969 to 1977. In 1974, he became the first player to win both the Match Play and Stroke Play tourneys in the same year. His 6 major titles were the most until Ryan Jansa eclipsed the mark in 2003. He qualified for the U.S. Amateur 5 times and the U.S. Junior twice. In 1980, he shot a course record 61 at Minnehaha Country Club. He is a former president of the South Dakota Golf Association. Dave helped start Willow Run Golf Course in Sioux Falls and has been the course director of golf since it opened in 1986. At Arizona State, he won the Western Athletic Conference Tourney in 1967. At Huron, he was a 2-time state prep champ. He was inducted into the State Golf Hall of Fame in 1997.
What I'd like to do is just spend a few minutes and talk not so much about the what or the how, but the why. I've played this game all my life with such a passion. First of all, they say about the game of golf is that it's a game of a lifetime, and it's really true. Just ask my granddaughter, April. And it's a game that you can play for a long time, even on a competitive level. In 1978, Sam Snead was 67 years old. Sam had won 88 PGA tournaments, but he had never won the U.S. Open. And he received a special invite from the USGA to play in the National Open in 1978. And he held a press conference and says, "I can win this tournament. I'm playing some of the best golf of my life." She listens at home. Sam was playing some of the best golf of his life at age 67. He had this press release that said he's going to go for the U.S. Open and win the only major that he hadn't won. So the week before, he went to Bettendorf, Iowa, and played in the Quad Cities Open, Bettendorf, Iowa. The first day of the tournament, he did something that no PGA official had ever even dreamt of. He set a record, and what he did, he shot his age. He shot 67 the first day in the Quad City Open. Does anybody know how long that record lasted? 1 day. Sam shot 66 the second day. He shot 133. He's 1 stroke out of the lead, and people are saying, my gosh, maybe he can win. Sam didn't win, nor did he win the Open the next year, but the most important thing was he thought he could. I'm also intrigued by sporting legends who, after their career, pick up golf. People like John Brody, Hall of Fame quarterback for the 49ers. At age 50, joins the senior tour and wins an event. Jerry West, +3 handicap, shoots 64 at Riviera Country Club, his home course. Jim Perry, Cy Young Award winner, moves to Sioux Falls, becomes a scratch player, and wins the Minnehaha Club Championship. On the ladies' side, Babe Saharias, Olympic champion who later on won several tournaments on the LPGA Tour. Even local sports stars, people like Jim Iverson, Jim Luce, Freddie Hecker, Wayne Rasmussen, Neil Graff, Keith Algerson, Brian Bauer, people that pick up the game after their high school or college career and become quite adept at golf. Even Dave Dummermuth, who's here tonight with his wife. I missed the boat on Dave. I wasn't sure. He came out to the golf course 2 years ago for a lesson, and I'm thrilled to death he didn't take my advice. I told him to lay off for 2 weeks and then quit for good. Another reason I love this game is that it just reeks with integrity. There's no umpires, there's no referees, there's no judges. You won't even see a Rich Hansen out there. Why? Because the player police themselves. In the middle 70s, Arnold Palmer was going for the PGA, and that was the only major that he had never won. And he was in contention. In the middle of the third round, he hooked his drive into some thick rough, and as he was getting ready to thrash it out of the rough, as he had done 1,000 times before, he backed off and called over a rules official. You're only going to have 2 or 3 rules officials covering 140 golfers in a PGA event over a 200 to 300 acre field. He called the rules official over, and the rules official said, "Arnold, what's up?" And he said, "I think my ball moved." The rules official said, did you address the ball, and did it move after you addressed the ball?" And Arnold said, "I think so." The official looked at the caddy. He didn't see anything. The gallery was too far away. So the rules official said, "Arnold, you know the rule as well as I. It's a 1-stroke penalty if the ball moves after you've addressed the ball." He said, "Arnold, it's your call." Arnold said, "I'm declaring that the ball moved." He was assessed a 1-stroke penalty and fell out of contention. He finished about 12th, just a few strokes back in his final PGA, in one of his final PGA appearances. The other reason I like golf is because I think the handicap system is so fair. My best friend was a 15 handicapper, played to an 18 and thought he was a 9. Can you imagine Tiger Woods and MJ going out and play, and which they oftentimes do? Tiger's a +6, Michael's a 3, and they can have a fair game. After the game, can you imagine them going to a gym and playing one-on-one? How would Michael ever handicap himself? I have no idea. Lastly, the other thing I love about this game is that the people you meet, the lifetime friends that you make. I've played with 3 generations of the Comstock family, the Donahue family, the Cheddar family, and the Hobie Richards family, and my wife's family, the Fosheims. And it's the new people you meet that can be so intriguing. Several years ago, my grandson and I were playing golf at a Disney course in Orlando. We were paired with 2 gentlemen with a heavy New Jersey accent. In the course of the round, we asked them what they did, and they were firefighters. And one of the guys says, "Joe, why don't you tell them what else you do?" And Joe didn't want to say it, but I pressed him, and I said, "Joe, what else do you do?" He says, "I'm a nurse." And I said, "You're a firefighter and a nurse?" He said, "I am." I said, "How'd that happen?" Well, he said, at age 50, I went through a divorce, and I decided I didn't want to hang out at the bars, and so I went to nursing school, and I became a nurse. And he says, and I said, "So both are full-time jobs?" He said, "They are." He said, "I work by day as a firefighter, and since 9/11, don't we have a different perspective? And a nurse by night." At the end of the round, I shook hands with the guy, but what I wanted to do was hug him. Whether I play in a Pro-Am or an Invitational, whether I play with some of my regular groups, whether I play with, hooked up with different people like I did in Orlando, whether I'm playing with my daughter, my grandson, and my son-in-law, or whether I'm playing by myself with a couple of the grandkids, the thrill is all the same. So since I've established that golf is a game of a lifetime, my goals are to keep doing what I'm doing and hopefully play with that 4th generation. I read the resume and the bio and all the rest of the inductees, and I'm absolutely in awe. I want to thank the Hall of Fame committee for this incredible reception. I want to thank my father, who started me at golf. At age 17, I played my father in the finals of the club tournament, 36-hole final. He beat me 1 up. The next year, we played in the finals of the club tournament. And on the 27th hole, I went 10 up with 9 to go. My dad didn't know it, so he was marching to the 28th tee, and I went over and asked my mother what I should do. She said, "Son, I suggest you play another hole." I want to thank my mother who drove me all over the Midwest and beyond. I want to thank Hobie Richards Sr., who took me to another level. His wife and daughter, Jewel and Jody, are with us tonight, and their family's been so close over the years. Hobie had 12 students, 23 state titles, has to be the greatest teacher in the history of South Dakota golf. I want to thank my wife and children. They encouraged my playing all the time. I want to thank my wife for that leap of faith at age 40 when I decided to go into the golf business. I want to thank my brother Richard for coming up all the way from Phoenix, and all the friends tonight. I'm absolutely overwhelmed. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.